Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tea Time Tuesday here at the Renewal Center. We're so excited. I wanted to give myself a little bit of time. We're enjoying the sounds of that nice bossa nova and hope you are enjoying your wonderful Tuesday evening. Hello from us to you from the Renewal Center. It's been a minute, and we're so glad to be back here on Tea Time Tuesday, where we are taking time to pause, to reset, and to build resilience. And we are excited that you are joining us tonight. Hello out there to our Tea Time family. Hello, sis. Hi, Nita. It's good to see you tonight. Good evening to you. And good evening to you, Monique. Yes, Tea Time families. Good to see everybody tonight. We're so glad everybody is with us. Like the sign says here, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We definitely want to get the viewing up. So go ahead and hit that thumbs button out there and subscribe if you haven't done so, and share it with someone else so that they can see what the Renewal Center is doing. And we're so excited today. So go ahead. Hello, how are you doing, Michelle? Good evening to you too. And good evening to you too, Found Favors. Good to see you as well. Also, we want to just invite you to get your tea time journal with you. If this is your first time, grab a journal, grab some tea, and invite your friends and family to join us tonight. We're going to have an incredible dialogue. We're going to be talking about, let's see, where is it? I just had it. Can you put that up there for me, Patrick? I almost forgot it. Oh, yes.
Yeah, let me go back on there. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I see it. Clear more, carry less, and live with room. Yeah. Clear more, carry less, and live with room. We cannot wait to get into this deep dive of the dialogue tonight. And so to kick off the, April, as we close out, to kick off our tea time tonight, we're going to talk about Stress Awareness Month. We're going to be honoring that here at the Renewal Center. Of course, everyone engages in some level of stress. And so we want to take notice that Stress Awareness Month focuses on the effective ways to manage stress and how it affects us and how we can become more calm. Actually, this is a great place to be for Stress Awareness Month because we're pausing and we're taking time to just reflect. So once again, Stress Awareness Month is the month of April. And so our tea of the week is cherry blossom tea. We want to know what kind of tea you're drinking out there. Let me give you a little insight into cherry blossom tea. It is a very delightful tea, also known as Sakura tea, originating from Japan. It's very popular tea in Asia. It originated in Japan and it's very fragrant and aromatic. It's a good tea made from Sakura leaves. Cherry blossom tea, our tea of the week. What a good tea to jumpstart the day. So what is your tea of choice? Go ahead and put it in the chat tonight. We would love to hear from you. Hello, Londa. It's good to see you too. Thank you for joining in. Hello, Sharon. It's good to see you. Good evening. Hey, and there's our brother Harry. How you doing, Paulie? Good to see you too. And blessings and favor to you. And so I'm going to pass the torch over to Hope, and she's going to take us into a time of locating ourselves tonight so we can relax.
All right, let me check and see. Hold on. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Good evening, everybody. Excited to be here on Tea Time. And we're on to our Locate Yourself. Can you guys hear me, or is it kind of going in and out?
We can hear you. You're good.
Okay, because some technical stuff. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to take a moment to pause, as we usually would do. Those who are new to our community, this is a time where we pause, just take a breath, just kind of relax your shoulders, do some inhaling and exhaling, and just take a moment to locate ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and locate ourselves right now. All right. All right. That was great. Just a time to locate ourselves. I hope you all out there are able to participate with us. That's just a time we just actually pause and locate ourselves. And we do this every time we come together and do tea time. And you can do it as well when you're at home before you go into a meeting. Just take a moment to locate yourself and take up to breathe. So we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Patrick.
Thank you so much, Hope. Thank you, Carmela. Hello, everybody. Tea timers, what's your tea of choice? Good to see everyone. Good evening. All right. Good to see Charlisa. Hello. All right. Good to see you. Nikki Pan. Hello. Nicole. Hello. All right. All right. This is good. I'm glad to have all of you today. It's good to see our team here together. It's been a while that we've been able to be together like this. I'm excited about it. Grateful to have everyone here. Before we go into that, there's been some special programs and services that we've been providing here at the Renewal Center, and I'm grateful for all that we do. And I wanted to highlight two things this evening before we get into our renewal practices. Everybody, please grab your journal. Please grab your tea. We are going to focus this evening as we close out Stress Awareness Month. But I know, Carmela, we just finished the month, and this coming Saturday, you have Women at the Well Bible study, first Saturdays. And then also, Hope, recently we've launched the Grief, Pain, and Stress Support Group, which we call GPS, locate yourself, our Grief, Pain, and Stress Support Groups. And Carmela, I want you to take a moment, if you will, and just talk a little bit about the Women at the Well Bible study. I want to highlight that. And those of you that are participants in that Bible study, just hashtag us or put out there, that's me, Women at the Well. We'd like to hear from you. But can you tell us a little bit about what that is and why that's important?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about GPS, and I hope to talk a little bit about that as well, so that people can understand who we are and what we do as part of our vision. So can you share a little bit about that? And then after these, we'll dig into our renewal practices for this evening.
Yes, actually, we have a Bible study called Women at the Well Bible Study, where women can come together. It's for ladies, and we come into a soft space. We come into a space where you can be yourself, and also you can fellowship. We have 10 o'clock. It's all virtual. And you come at 10 o'clock for virtual fellowship. You can still fellowship virtually. It's a good place to connect and also to catch up on things that we have done in our lives, because we meet once a month on the first Saturday of every month. And so at 10:30, we kick into our book study. We are currently studying Cynthia Hale's book, The Woman Whose God Is Enough. This is our second book study for the Women at the Well. So I believe this is year 3. And we have been diving into biblical principles in these books. We're really focusing on the fact that God is our all-sufficient one. And so every woman has different roles and different hats that we wear, and so many things that we face, so many challenges. But this book focuses on the fact that we can lean into the Lord, and we can gain biblical principles about where we are and how we can apply that in our everyday living as women of God and then sisters in Christ. And so this is a dynamic time. It is a very exciting place that you can come and share and glean from some of the other ladies that are there. And we are in chapter 8, going on chapter 9. We're almost completed this book too. And we're getting ready to move into the next study. So if you're a lady that really wants to tap into biblical study, because this is rooted in biblical foundation, and you can show up. You don't necessarily have to do anything. If you want, we're kind of closing out this study, but you still time. If you want to buy the book, you can tap into our Facebook page so you can find out more information. And the Zoom link is there. You don't necessarily have to sign up for anything. Just click on that ID and password, and you can come on Saturday morning. And we are excited to see you. So please take the time to join us. And we look forward to spending time with you and diving into these biblical principles together.
Thank you so much for that, Carmela. And you just mentioned, you said 3 years. It's been 3 years already?
Yeah, I believe it's going on. I think it is.
Wow.
It's moving along, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When you said 3, I was like, I had to pause for a moment there. And everyone, those of you that are new to Tea Time Tuesday, Carmela Head is also one of our pastors. He's Pastor Mel, as she's affectionately called, and a pastor teacher in the body of Christ. And so just grateful for her leading that Bible study. And just want to encourage you women to invite someone, share this on your pages, and let's connect. So again, thank you so much for sharing that. I just wanted us to pause. Healthy environments like that also help with stress, by the way. So when you're in a healthy environment. So if you're a lady or woman that's out there and you have a lot that's in your life, you need that space for you, especially for those of you that are giving and pouring out and leading.
Yes, exactly.
That is for you to study the word together. Scripture says the grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of God shall stand forever. And that's what happens. It causes you to stand. Not here to preach. We're here to have a renewed practice, but just thought I'd mention that.
Well, thank you for letting me share that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. All right, Hope. Hope, share with us a little bit about what's happening in our grief, pain, and stress support group. Hope Melton is one of our leaders here at the Renewal Center as well. And she's also a certified in grief recovery as well. But she's facilitating the grief, pain, and stress support group. I know that you just kicked that off here in March. So tell me a little bit about what it is and tell us, what it's for, why it exists, and how's it going? Uh-oh, are you frozen over there? Oh, I think so.
Yeah, it's you're breaking up, but I'll go ahead and I'll talk if you can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Go right ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So our GPS, which is grief, pain, and stress support group, is a virtual community. We kicked it off last month in March. Together and navigate grief, pain, and stress. And so not just only do we talk about grief in a death, but grief of any type of loss of any type of any kind. It could be a job. It could be different things that have happened, not only death, but it's a broad spectrum of many things that we may have lost. This is a great place to that will be able to give you tools to be able to navigate as you move forward through these challenging times, to be able to navigate your grief, your pain, and your stress. And so this, as we've been having a transparent time, people are receiving healing. This is a safe space where you can talk, a safe space where you are free and where you can receive the tools that's needed to be able to navigate going through grief, pain, and stress through life. You can sign up. We have a few openings left because we want to keep it small and confidential. You can sign up and you can go to our website, therenewalcenters.com, and there you can fill out the information, and then we will send you an email with how you can actually join us virtually, and the dates and times of the meetings are listed there as well. If you have any questions, you can contact us through the email, or if you're interested in individual grief sessions, we have that available for 2 individual sessions as well. Our virtual groups are free. And so if you know anybody that will benefit from this, if you know anybody that would need this, please tell them about our GPS program. Again, there is healing in community. And so this has been phenomenal. We're on our second session. And so I'm just thankful for the opportunity to be a part of this particular group. And as we continue to navigate grief, pain, and stress in our lives.
Thank you for sharing that, Hope. And again, I want to reiterate to everyone, the GPS grief, pain, and stress support group is free. So please make sure that you sign up. Please email us. I think we got 2 seats left. If you need that connection, you need that community, this is the first iteration of that group, and I know that it will strengthen you when you're in an environment where we come together and we take care of each other. So again, thank you so much for Hope for sharing that with us. All right, everyone. Thanks again, both of you, for sharing. I just wanted to give us an opportunity for everyone to just let you know what we're doing here at the Renewal Center. I do want to say that on Wednesdays, we do have Reforming Culture, and tomorrow we'll be having our 5th Wednesday at time of prayer at 7:30. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow as well at 7:30, and also for the ladies, women at the well, this coming Saturday at 10. So we wanted to just reiterate that again, this coming May 2nd. All right, moving forward. Okay, everybody ready for the renewal practices? Yes. All right, located ourselves. We're finalizing and finishing up Stress Awareness Month. And so let's dig into our practice for this evening. Now, again, the focus for today is clear more, carry less, live with room. Clear more, carry less, live with room. And what I'd like you to do, if you have a journal with you, I want you to write down 3 terms, perhaps on the left side, like downwards. We're going to do 3 acronyms this evening in the area of clear more, carry less, and live with room. It'll be calm, less, and room. So go ahead and write that down if you will. Calm, C-A-L-M, less, L-E-S-S, and room. All right, so that's what we're going to focus on this evening. It says, okay, we're talking about clearing out more. You know, that deals with spring cleaning. That deals with decluttering. And many times cluttered lives would be a result of a cluttered mind. Many times we just holding on to things, and things are all over the place, and keep packing things and all that. And so I want us to dig into ways that we can clear. We can clear more in our lives. We can carry less in our lives, and then we can live with room. We can live with room. And so that's what will help us with stress awareness. Now, we're going to start small, though. And I want you to think about this as we deal with the first, I would say, renewal practice in the area of stress awareness, and it is calm. All right. And in the area of calm, I want you to think about clarify one priority. One priority. All right. Now, I want you to think about your space. I want you to think about your home. I want you to think about your office. I want you to think about your closet. I want you to think about your car. And I want you to think about one of the most stressful zones in your life. Let me know you got it. I want you to think about this. Clarify one priority right now. And then A, clear one source of clutter. An area, that stands for area. All right, an area, one source of clutter, your area. All right. L will be limit one draining pattern. And M will be maintain one renewing rhythm. We're going to focus on calm. So A is area. So excuse that error there. Your areas. Now, I want you to think about this, and we're going to briefly journal this together. And I want you to think about daily maintenance creates lasting change. How daily maintenance will create lasting change in the area of calm. Now, here's the big question, Mel and Hope, we're going to ask everyone this evening. Where is one thing I need, or what is one thing I need to remove, reduce, or reorder this week? We're not talking about next week. We're talking about this week. So what is one thing that I need to remove, reduce, or reorder? Let's put that in the comments. Remove, reduce, reorder. What is one thing in my life that I need to remove, reduce, or reorder this week in order for me to flow in a different state of calm? I'm clarifying one priority. That's what we're doing right now. I'm clearing one source or one area of clutter. I'm limiting one draining pattern, and I'm maintaining one renewing rhythm. I want you to focus on that. I want you to think about that, because resetting is not quitting. Resetting is realignment. And we can begin with renewal, T-timers, where honesty replaces autopilot. When I'm honest about where I am, that replaces autopilot. So let's put it in the comments. Remove, reduce, reorder. What is one thing I need to remove, reduce, or reorder this week? So I'm going to pause here, enjoy my tea, and Hope, what are your thoughts on that? Carmela, any thoughts that you may have on that? T-timers, whatever thoughts you may have on that. Want to hear your thoughts. We're going to work this together this evening. Again, it's about pause, resetting, building resilience. All right. So thoughts do you have? We're talking about calm. That's the first one. Go ahead. Anybody?
Well, I'll jump in. When you started talking about the topic, my mind went to less is best. And I was, well, less is best and less is more. You know, when you were talking about live with more with room, actually, when you reduce this stuff or you eliminate stuff, then you have more room for something else. Now, I mean, not something else to pile up more or to, you know, accumulate more, but I agreed with that. And so this is a real good way to kick off the spring and all of that. But there are practical things that I'm looking at right now. And I'm a very organized person, but there are some things that I need to get rid of. And I'm sitting here like practical things that it's time to go ahead and take advantage of releasing them so that I can focus, so that space could, you know, the space can be free.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And I know that you're talking about natural space. I also want to encourage everyone, look around you right now.
Right.
All right. Hope, look around you. All right. Carmela, look around. What's out? Just kind of peek a little bit, everybody. And it could be in your physical environment, right, or it could be ladies in your purse, brothers in your wallet.
That's practical.
You know, it could be in your car, your compartment in your car. You know, if you got a junk drawer, just be honest and type junk in the comments. just everybody be transparent tonight, T-timers. You know you have it. Just put junk. Some of y'all got two. So if you need to, just say junk if you got two. If you got more than that, all right. So, but I think it's important because, again, we're talking about, again, calm and clarifying one priority, clearing one source or area of clutter, limiting one draining pattern, maintaining one renewing rhythm. Hope, I'm going to ask you this. What is one thing you need to remove, reduce, or reorder this week? Open-ended. What thoughts do you have about that?
So as I was looking around, there's an area that I need to declutter. So I'm gonna work on that. Because for me, I can't deal with a lot of clutter. If I keep looking at it, I'm gonna eventually tackle it to get it down. You know, so this gives me opportunity to get rid of some things that I don't need. And then I'm able to really see what I have. Because what I found out is that when you have a lot of things, or you have, I'm just saying in the natural, and, you know, I admit I have a lot as far as like women's stuff, items. I make earrings, so I have the material I make those with. And so in order for me to really see what I really have, I have to go through it and get rid of the stuff that I don't need. Because sometimes I have stuff and because I can go buy it again. And I'm like, then I look through, I'm like, oh my gosh, I already had this. So now I have more. Kind of like when you gave the scissor analogy before. You know, you talked about you had five.
Yeah, I had five pairs of scissors. I didn't have no order.
The same thing for me. It was like, okay, I have 6 pairs of scissors.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just like, for me, in order, you have to clutter to really see the value too of what you already have.
That's good.
You know, so I definitely have some work to do when it comes to, you know, the office, you know.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that. I think this is important, folks. We're thinking about, again, how we deal with stress awareness. And the practice for today, again, is about clear more. When we clear more and carry less, we can live with room.
Right.
And our focus here is asking ourselves honestly. Now, if you got that junk drawer, some of y'all, I don't know if we got it. Let me see what the comments are saying right now. What folks are saying here. All right, Pamela says here, pound favor, removing unnecessary duplicates of things. Yolanda is saying spring cleaning is needed. Renita saying, goodness, I feel very seen. I'm gonna leave there. I'm gonna leave that for a little bit since you already seen. Just leave it up there for you a little bit. And junk. Oh, Dad, Dr. Brown. Okay, comes reduce activity from site council, resign from site council today. I need to reclaim my time.
That's
all
good.
right,
That's
sir.
good.
All right, all right. Redeeming the time, reclaiming my time. That's good. That's good. Again, I want everybody to think about what is one thing I need to remove, reduce, or reorder this week. It may be something, a thing. It may be an item. It might be your life. It might be thoughts. It might be some photos on your phone. It might be just apps that you know you're not using. It might be those emails that you got 10,000 of that are still sitting there from 6 years ago that you have yet to delete. It might be that you need to unsubscribe. Your inbox is just cluttered. Okay, I know it. Everybody feeling seen? I'm so sorry. But again, this is also one of the reasons why I asked that question is when we look at just one thing this week, and I'd like you to do it, just one thing. I want you to think about one thing that I need to remove, that you need to remove or reduce or reorder.
It's good.
Okay. And what that will do for you is that'll help you in the area of calm. And I just want you to clarify one priority this week. Clear one area of clutter. One area of clutter. Limit one. You can choose any of these acronyms here. Limit one draining pattern. We just heard Dr. Brown say, resigned so he can reclaim his time. Like, you know what? That area, I got to maintain one renewing rhythm. Let me step away from this council so that I can free up to do other things or just be. All right. It's important. Calm is important. So again, our takeaway for this section for our renewal practices, one thing that we need, that you need to remove, reduce, or reorder as well. And I gave you those 3 words so that you can think, okay, I need to reduce this. I need to remove this, but I also need to reorder this. And that helps you with structure. And, you know, resetting here, T-timers, is not about quitting. It's about realigning your space. And so we function on autopilot so much that we don't really recognize what needs to be removed, reduced, or reordered. All right. Any last thoughts before I move to the next one, Hope or Carmela? Any thoughts?
I just think this is good. I think this is needed. It's almost like a check-in, like the check engine light comes on when you piling up with stuff, and you know, just sooner or later you're going to have to deal with it. You know, and so I'm glad that you're bringing us to our remembrance. Even the little stuff that we don't deal with, the little junk drawers, will start piling up and cause us stress when we can't find things. And so the whole reason of that is to bring calm. So I'm appreciating this exercise tonight.
That's good. Thank you. All right, let's move to the next one, which is less. All right, we went from calm. Now let's go to less. All right, let go of low value weight. Now I want everybody to type in the comments or write down the E, embrace enough. When is enough enough? Embrace enough. Safeguard your retention and sustain simple rhythms. See, less stress is more freedom. And having the joy of enough, because our attention is scarce.
Mm-hmm.
Digital clutter is stressful. Daily maintenance matters. So when you have less or in a state of less, that's not loss. What that does is that helps return you to freedom. The recovery of your space.
Yeah.
I went in to my attic, Hope and Carmela, I went into my attic. I had clothes in certain bins. I just in there, just been there for a couple of years. Like, you're not, what's going on? I ended up cleaning out 30%, 40%, if I were to measure it, literally, of just clothes. Nice suits, ties, sweaters. Now I had a challenge, because I was like, oh gosh, I like that, So I had to have a little conversation with myself about why I was keeping certain things. And it was a freedom of giving those things away. Now, again, let go of low value weight. I had to ask myself, is this a memento to me? Is it something value, And I think E was important here, was learning to embrace enough. Embrace enough. The shoe lovers, embrace enough. The bag lovers, embrace enough. I want you to think about that, okay? All right, even digital minimalism is important, all right? Not every possible input deserves a place in your life. Not every possible input deserves space in your life, okay? Your attention is futile. Fragile. Things can break it. It is finite as well. You can't pay attention to everything. So even in that perspective, less is important. So think about letting go of evaluate, embracing enough, safeguarding your attention, sustaining simple rhythms.
Yes.
This is important if you're going to de-stress, if you're going to work on your atmosphere, less is important. Hope, any thoughts on that? When you think about letting go of low value weight, what resonates with you in this acronym? Let go of low value weight, or embracing enough, or safeguarding your attention. Carmela, any thoughts? Sustaining simple rhythms. And T-timers, what resonates with you in the less area? Anybody? Thinking over there?
For me, safeguarding our attention.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that for myself that I can definitely improve on. I'm thankful for the lesson tonight here on Tea Time, and embracing enough. Just knowing when enough is enough, and that's in different areas as far as shopping and doing unnecessary things, or just different aspects of even working life balance. So yeah, understand, like, as far as that enough is enough. So that kind of, those things that stuck out for me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Carmela, any thoughts on you? Anything?
Yeah, I think for me, safeguarding your attention jumped out because I think for me, time is always so important to me. My time is precious, but sometimes we can get to a point where I'm speaking from me, where we need to start looking at where our time is going. If it's like energy drainers or time wasters, those things that take our time, and then you're how much time can I allocate to that thing? How much is it, that I can do? And being intentional about safeguarding. If you say you're going to have me time, then stick to your me time, or, this is the time I'm going to do this, and I'm going to engage in that, and being intentional about actually engaging in that versus taking on a whole lot of other stuff and then you never really focus on the things that you said you were going to do. So I think that safeguarding my attention makes a difference, because you're looking at so many things, engaging so many things, and after a while, your energy is drained. You don't have anything left for yourself. So for me, that's what I think is really important, is safeguarding my attention.
That's good. Comments are coming in here. Sustain simple rhythms. All right. Embrace enough. Embrace enough. All right. Comments are coming in. Embrace enough. Safeguarding attention. Here's one. Carmela, you want to read this with Renita?
Okay. So Nita is saying, I appreciate taking time to assess and determine what is of true value and remove the excess or things that are not of much value. Yeah.
You know, when we think about safeguarding our attention as part of this whole less approach, you know, distraction is not just an efficiency problem. It's a formational issue. Because what I'm asking myself now is, why am I allowing this to form me? Yeah. So I got to think about that. And so if I were to think about this diagnostically, folks, I wrote down a few questions I want us to think about. You know, what digital behaviors are quietly fragmenting my peace? What digital behaviors? We're not talking about non-digital. We're talking about the digital. What digital behaviors are quietly fragmenting my peace? Here's another question. Where have I confused access with alignment? Wow. Now, again, we're talking about less, but where have I, think about that, and how have I confused access with alignment? Here's another question. What do I keep consuming that gives little value but takes real attention? See, this right here are ways to help you identify what we need to work on in the area of less. Maybe ask yourself, what does enough look like for me in this season? So these are just a few things I want us to think about as just a way to look at it diagnostically on the area of less. Really thinking through what needs to be let go of low value weight, or embracing enough. I want to challenge everyone. You said, well, what does this have to do with stress awareness? And what does this have to do with renewal? Well, because you have to clarify a priority and think about a thing I need to remove, reduce, or reorder. And then also think about, what have I embraced enough, or am I still focused on acquisition and acquiring things? How am I safeguarding my attention? Do you respond to every ping, every notification that comes up? You better get at it within the next 30 minutes. You better get at it in the next 2 hours. Maybe perhaps everybody put in the comments, no technology day. Choose one day in your month that's a no technology day. The next time you go to the store, leave your cell phone home. See how you feel. Just go drive. Yeah. I can't do that because I need. Okay. No technology day. Maybe there's one day. Choose a day during your week. Wow, that's not fair. How do you? I mean, we're in digital right now. Okay, well, you got choose a day, choose a time. Figure it out. Well, I can't. Well, if that's the case, that means it rules me. So let's think about that. I want you to consider a no technology day. We need to put a question mark at the end. No technology day? Yes, no technology day. I'll take it down. So no technology day. Those are important. All right. That we think about how these things are potentially ruling. All right. How we allow certain things to distract our attention. So critical and so important. All right. So no technology day. Think about that. Think about how your life might be. All right. One day. Think about how Notifications may rule.
Yeah.
Polly says, yep, no technology day. All right, all these no technology days. All right now. So I want you to just think, just suggesting one day a month. And what is that going to do? Simple rhythm. You know what? I got one day that I'm just disconnected.
Yeah.
All right. No take at the table. Yeah. Next time that you get at the table, don't even bring it. Matter of fact, the next time you go out to eat with everybody take their phones out and stack it upside down in the middle of the table. And for the next time that we're eating, we're not looking at our devices.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be an interesting practice?
Everybody be looking at the phones.
Yeah, I know, right? I gotta answer it. We need to buy stock in neck warmers.
Shame.
We need to buy stock in neck warmers because everybody looking down, you know. That's right. More something. But again, I know that we're enjoying ourselves tonight, but I really want to encourage everyone to think about these are simple, small things to help us just navigate this whole idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, behind clear more, carry less, live with room. All right. I'm going to give you a minute just to think about it, to locate yourself in the first two. I know I shared a couple of questions. Perhaps I can help you. All right. The first question I asked under calm was, what is one thing I need to remove, reduce, or reorder this week? I'm not talking about next week or next month. Okay. We got a few more days left. Think about it. What can I remove? It could be something very simple. Move one thing over there. Move this back over there. Reduce this. Reorder this. All right. That's under calm. Under less, a couple of questions. What digital behaviors are quietly fragmenting my peace? Or where have I confused access with alignment? Or what do I keep consuming that gives little value, but it takes real attention? All right. What does enough look like for me in this season?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I believe that less is powerful when it returns you to yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I believe attention is a holy resource. You should spend it where your life is growing. All right. All right. Let's go to our last renewal practice for this evening. And I hope this is very helpful for everyone as well. Let's dig into the last one, which is room. Okay. Recover purpose. Observe what does not belong. Order around your values and make margin for renewal. Recover purpose. Observe what does not belong. Order around your values and make margin for renewal. Now, each room in our lives should be defined by purpose. When you walk into a particular room, and I'll bring this back up in a minute. When you walk into a particular room in your home, all right, it should be defined by a purpose. How do you want to feel in it when you walk in there? How do you not want to feel in it when you walk in there?
Right.
When I walk into my office, home, I want to have some natural light. So I got a window. I'm able to see some greenery, able to turn here after a meeting, kind of just look real quick. You know, I got my tea right here with my tea warmer or the coffee warmer too. I got too many warmers. See, got to declutter that too. But anyway, I got my warmers over here. You know, you think about it. You think about how clear my desk may be at certain times. Move things around. Got a candle over here. Got a diffuser. So I want you to think about how you want to feel or how you do not want to feel when you go into a particular room.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's lift that out of a physical space. You go with me, everybody?
Yes.
Lift it out of a physical space. And I want you to apply this to emotional, relational, spiritual, and digital life. Wow. So let's lift it out of the physical space. Boom. And I think about beyond physical rooms, and it's applied to emotional space, emotional room, relational space, spiritual space, digital space. And I want you to ask practical questions for each room in your life. Practical questions. Recover purpose, observe what does not belong, order around your values, make margin for renewal. We're talking about rooms now. And I want you to think about what is its purpose? Who uses this room? Does it meet the needs? How do I want to feel when I enter into that room? How do I not want to feel there? All right. This is not about decluttering advice here. This is really more about life assessing that when you don't know the purpose of a thing, as Dr. Miles said, you'll abuse it, right? When things are unclear, I would even say this: when purpose is unclear, everything competes for space.
That's right.
But when purpose is clear of the room, the spaces, decisions become cleaner. We're not just talking about physical space now. We're talking about emotional rooms, relational rooms, professional rooms, spiritual rooms, digital space, all of this. So we're going to do an exercise. All right, we still got some time, so I want you to work with me. And I want you to choose one room of life. Think about one room. It could be a physical room, emotional, relational, spiritual, professional, or digital. Go ahead and choose your room. It could be calendar. It could be your digital space. You say, what is a digital space? That's your phone. That's your tablet. That's your laptop. That's your computer. That's your email. That's your digital footprint in your social media. Relationships. Inner thought life. Those are all considered rooms. Everybody got a room? Now, I want you to ask these line of questions. What is this space for? Okay. What is this space for? Look, and if you're doing it from a physical perspective, then that means you need to look at it and say, what is this space for in the physical? And then ask it for all the other subsequent other ones. What feeling does it currently create? That's the next question. Another question is, what feeling should it cultivate instead? And then ask yourself another question. What no longer fits its purpose? All right, so I got a couple of questions in there. Put those in the comments. And I want you to think about this regarding the different rooms, but you should have chosen one room. Could have been a physical room. It could be an emotional room. It could be a relational room, a professional room, a spiritual room, a digital space, okay? Your physical space, your calendar, your phone, your relationships, your inner thought life. Because when purpose is not clear, when purpose is unclear, everything competes for space. And people wonder, well, why are things all over the place? And why am I being pulled in all these directions? And so much is going on. Well, perhaps the purpose of that space is not clear, and then things are competing for your space. It's competing for your mind. It's competing for your intellect. It's competing for your thought life. Okay? Now, I'm going to take a pause here, give you some time to write, to reflect, to think through this as a practice. Any thoughts on that? Hope I see you thinking over there. Saw you writing. Carmel, I see you writing. Folks out there in the tea time world, tea timers, I know that you're probably thinking through this and writing through it. What are your thoughts on the room, on this particular practice? Because this is our last one for this evening. What are your thoughts on this one? Any reflections? What resonates with you? Please put those in the comments. We'd love to hear from the community. What are your thoughts on these questions? Because I think it's important that sometimes we tolerate environments, tolerate certain things going on in the rooms in our lives. You know, where do I need to move from survival arrangement to intentional design? Or what is one thing that occupies space in my life, but it offers no real contribution? Ooh, that's a tough question.
That's good.
Talking about rooms here. Okay. You might be assessing your physical room, but we're going to lift it up just out of the physical space and we're going to put it into these other rooms. All right. So I'm going to pause here. What are your thoughts, comments, perspectives? Anything that resonates with you?
I have something brief I want to say. I wrote down that purpose defines what should be there.
Ooh.
When you have purpose in something or whatever it is, it defines what should be there. When there is no purpose for whatever reason for space, then anything can show up there. Like you have to identify and allow purpose to define what is there, because purpose actually drives it.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose is the reason for which we do whatever we do. So if you think about the fact that there's purpose for something, then that defines what should be there. My 2 cents.
Oh, it's a good 2 cents. Please contribute. Throw a few more coins in there. That's good. All right. Cassandra says, reflective on how much is enough so that I can release some things and reorganize.
Yes.
Polly says here, purpose defines what should be there. That's good, sis.
Thank you.
Kristen Chemo Chick says, occupy space, but no real contribution. Woo. Hope any thoughts? I know you're taking notes and journaling. Nichelle says, love it. Purpose helps me know what and who belong in my life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And folks, I want y'all to lift this into every space. Lift it out of the physical rooms, put them in what? Physical rooms and emotional rooms, relational rooms, professional rooms, spiritual rooms, digital rooms, inner thought life, digital areas. Okay. Hope, thoughts? Anything you want to share?
No, I don't have anything to share. I'm actually just writing.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay.
I'm just writing down just what was said, the comments and things. Yeah.
This is good stuff. You know, anything without purpose will eventually become pressure that you do not need. So let's think about moving from survival arrangements to intentional design in the spaces, in the rooms, in our lives. It's so important. You know, your environment is always disciplining your attention. All right. Yolanda says, intentionally is an important consideration of each space and room. When purpose is defined, I can be more intentional about what I will permit in that space.
Yes.
And again, that's all spaces.
Right.
Look at your phone, your laptops, your tablets, your closets, your cars, your mind, your friendships, relationships, your professional life, your spiritual life, definitely foundationally.
That's right.
All right. We're taking holistic view. Okay. Wow. Paulie says, when you allow things to be in your space, it creates unnecessary warfare. Okay, sir.
That's
All
good.
right.
Because you're competing. You're competing with that thing.
Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, folks, going in at time tonight.
Yes,
It's good. All right. Hey, that says what no longer fits its purpose. For me, it takes up space and needs to let go.
Yes.
All right.
Right, Dad. That's right.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Very good. So again, we're here at Time. I know we started out with sharing some things about the Renewal Center I wanted to share with you, but as we got into the practice, I'm going to bring up our areas one more time so you can just be clear on what we shared tonight. Again, calm, clarify one priority, clear an area, one area of clutter, limit one draining pattern, maintain one renewing rhythms. These are just ways to kind of think through, how your thoughts are, where you are in different aspects of your life. And the question here was, what is one thing I need to remove, reduce, or reorder this week? Then we shifted over to less. Let go of low value weight. Embrace enough. Safeguard your attention. Sustain simple rhythms. All right. Our attention is finite, folks. It is, and it is fragile. Things can get in the way of it. So we want to make sure it's not about an efficiency issue, but it's a formational issue. And the questions here were, what digital behaviors are quietly fragmenting my peace? Where have I confused access with alignment? What do I keep consuming that gives little value, but it takes real attention? What does enough look like for me in this season? And then lastly, we talked about room, recover purpose. All right. Observe what does not belong. Order around your values. Make margin for renewal. All right. Each room should be defined by purpose, how you want to feel in it. How do you not want to feel in it? Then we lifted it out of the physical space and we applied it to emotional, spiritual, relational, professional, and digital life. All right. So these are just a few things I wanted us to share in our renewal practices today. I do hope you benefited today from clear more, carry less, and live with room. If everyone out there, T-timers, can you place in the comments what was new for you today or what resonated with you today? What would you do differently? What would you apply? What stood out for you? Is there one word or one thought that was dominant that really resonated with you? Please feel free to place that in the comments. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and share a few more of our announcements that we've shared. You've heard about our GPS. I want to remind you of that. Please inbox us, the Renewal Centers 2020 at gmail.com, or go to our website, all right, www.therenewalcenters.com. Also, Women at the Well will be again this coming Saturday, May 2nd. Just want to remind you of that as well. That is the new Zoom login instructions. You do not have to register. All right, follow us on our social media, download our mobile app, go to our website. There's the meeting ID and the password. And also a reminder, please, concerning GPS, our grief, pain, and stress support group. We do have 2 seats that are left. Please feel free to connect with us. That is a very healthy environment. If you're suffering through any loss of any particular kind, it helps you navigate. So I wanted to share that with you. Also to remind you, each and every Sunday, we connect here at the Renewal Center for New Digital Discipleship. This coming Sunday at 10 a.m., there's a Zoom ID there and password. Please share this with others. And also, we're coming up on our second Friday morning prayer, May 8th, second Fridays, all right, at 6:30 a.m. You don't have to turn your camera on, log in. We pray, we reflect, we sit in the presence of the Lord together, and want to share that with you. So we look forward to seeing you. And then also on tomorrow, we do have our 5th Wednesday corporate prayer at 7:30 for our normal Reforming Culture sessions, which we are wrapping up in May. We're wrapping up our class on the Christology of spiritual formation. So grateful to have you all a part of this. Any last things before we stop? And I also want to share with you, if this is your first time connecting with us, or you're a T-timer, regular reformer, or renewer, I want to give you an opportunity, if you don't mind. I want you to think about supporting the Renewal Center. These are the different ways for our digital giving. You can also mail a check or money order to our P.O. Box 1381, Concord, North Carolina 28026. You can go to our website, therenewalcenters.com/give. That's another way to give. You can text it, and it'll give you a secure link. Download our mobile app. You can give directly through there as well. And we have PayPal and Zelle, the Renewal Center 2020 at Gmail, and Venmo at Renewal Center. I want to thank you for your giving. Thank you for your donation. Thank you for supporting us in our vision and our mission to help renew others. All right, so thank you so much. Carmela, hope any last thoughts? I'm going to go ahead and go through these comments as well. So just want to feel free to share.
This was excellent. I really appreciate going through this today, and I had something that just jumped in my mind when you were doing a recap, and you were saying what is consuming, what are we consuming, and my mind went to a lot of empty calories, not just physical things, but my mind went to thinking about how we may eat something. It's just empty calories. It tastes good, but it just, we're just loading up on stuff, but there's no real value. And I said, hey, that's some practical stuff right there. So I'm glad that you mentioned about what are we consuming. That makes a lot of sense. That stuck out a lot.
Thank you for sharing. Hope anything stood out to you.
Oh yes, has just been a great tea time this evening. Great principles shared, a lot of information to take in on just helping with stress and alleviating stress as well. Since this is stress awareness, I think this was a great principles that were shared tonight to alleviate some things and declutter some things, not only physically but maybe mentally, emotionally, relationally, or spiritually. So I'm just thankful for the tea time and thankful for our tea time community.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing as well. All right. Got a couple of comments here. Takeaway: sustain simple rhythms, clearing up space, clearing up clutter to make space. Takeaway: you determine what occupies your space. Be intentional about clearing your space. All right. Physical, emotional, digital, professional, all of that. Excellent transformative session. Thank you. Takeaway: assign purpose to each room. Hi, Audria. All of the practices discussed tonight center me at intentionality, in reordering, letting go, and re-engaging for the sake of my peace and purpose. Great reminder tonight. Thank you. You are welcome. Any last ones? Anybody else out there? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. I hope that this has been very helpful. Oh, here's another one. All right, more coming in here. I appreciate the practice shared today. I'm going to be intentional this week of evaluating spaces and places in my life. Something has to go. I need to make room.
Yeah.
All right. This has been great. Carmela, thank you so much. Hope, thank you so much. And Tea Timers, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow in our prayer, or perhaps Saturday at Women at the Well, or you might even be participating in the Grief, Pain, and Stress GPS support group. Either way, we're grateful. We've been here to able to support you and be a part of our Tea Time community. All right. So last thing we're going to do is just locate ourselves, and then we will see you the next time on our Tea Time. All right. So let's just pause for a moment. Want everybody to have a very good rest of your day. Thank you.